Gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the truth about dating in Warsaw. What it is that makes Warsaw special, and also the unique challenges that it has if you're used to dating in a typically less Eastern European environment. Let's put it like that. I came here from London, so most of my dating experience was in London prior to coming to Warsaw. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Timothy Robinson. I came out of a divorce in 2019. I realized I sucked with girls, so I went on a multi-year journey to correct this part of my life, and in the process I became a dating coach, and now I find myself here. So the basic story of how I ended up in Warsaw is this. In 2022, I was invited to teach a coaching course here, a Daygame approach course. I came here and in this very park, I remember walking through it and I was astounded by the level of beauty that was on display. I was here for a week and the women were spectacularly beautiful. If you're into Caucasian chicks, amazing. The food was really, really good. And I was very, very impressed with how clean the city is, how friendly the city is, how safe the city is. I'm not gonna lie, I had some expectations about Polish people. I remember there was a massive influx of Polish people into the UK around 2004, 2005. And I didn't have the best opinion about Polish people, because in the town that I grew up in, there was a lot of factory workers there and a lot of them were alcoholics, etc. Wow, when I came here, I was amazed by how professional everyone is, how well educated everyone is. One of the guys that I was teaching with, he said, "Do you want to get a flat here?" And I was fairly settled in London, but I thought, yeah, let's give this a go. Fast forward to 2026 and here we are. Fellas, are you tired of getting that girl's number only for her not to reply? I know the pain is very, very frustrating. Well, luckily for you, I got just the thing. This is the opening message that I personally send. I get 72.4% reply rate. I know because I tested it over 100 approaches in the month of December last year. If you want access to that, just go to timothyrobinson.me, or you can click the link down below this video and I will send that straight to your inbox. Back to the video. So one thing I can tell you straight away is that the women are incredibly feminine, very, very beautiful here. But as a result, they have very, very high standards. Like I said, I came out of my marriage in 2019. In 2020, I started Daygame. I started approaching women on the street, in shops, cafes, etc. And I did kind of quite well in London. It took me a while to get going. Of course, I had to learn the skill set, but once I felt like I knew what I was doing, I could generate pretty good results. And when I came to Poland, I have to say, I struggled to begin. The Polish women, they really do expect you to lead every step of the way. As they are so feminine, they respond to masculinity. I mean, you really have to lead. You really have to. I had to find something when I came here, I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing, right? I somehow got laid on the second day that I came here, and a woman actually approached me in a coffee shop. This has happened, and maybe I think it's happened twice since I've been here, so you definitely can't rely on that. And at first I was like, is this a scam? Because I didn't know Poland, right? And it was in winter like it is now, and I was like, is this something dodgy here? But it turned out she was actually saying hi, and we ended up having a little adventure together. But then I went on what I can only call a shag famine, and I think it was just under 3 months or 2 months, and I was doing cold approach. I was approaching women on the street every day. I remember one day in particular, it was a Sunday, I approached 10 women, and admittedly I had gone out drinking the night before, not my best hour or best day, and I got blown out 10 times in a row. They just didn't want to know. It took me getting my hair cut, really sorting out my fashion, and learning how to lead and be more bold and courageous to have success with the girls here. So I will say that London rules don't apply here. When I dated in London, the girls will often offer to buy you around. They'll be up for it. They'll be up for a laugh. Quite often, they'll want to get laid. I've had it where girls will invite me home when I've been on dates with girls in London. I can tell you, even though that one girl approached me in the coffee shop, that's never happened here. Generally in London, what I found was that it's got 10 million people there, so women tend to be a bit more abrupt and rude on the street. If they're not interested, they don't mind telling you they're not interested in quite a rude way. And you are?
I've got to go.
All right, ciao. Whereas here, generally, even if they're not interested, they'll be quite friendly and they'll appreciate the approach.
Is there a special man in your life?
Yeah, of course.
But in London, once you get them out on a date, I think because of feminism and all those kind of things, I think women are just a bit more up for it. Whereas if you take women on a date here, there's definitely a more traditional dating culture in place. You've got to have the stamina to go 2, 3, 4, 5. I've even gone 7 dates before. 7 dates where I have slept with a girl, and I even ended up having essentially a relationship with that girl. And I've also gone 7 dates where I didn't sleep with a girl. I basically got taken for a ride. That was when I just got here. When I was in London, my basic model was take them for 1 date, try and sleep with them, and then I would kind of run out of ideas. Now, bear in mind, that was earlier on in my dating journey, so it's important to have the skill to go the distance, essentially, here. I would liken it to being a professional boxer. Some boxers are one-punch knockout artists, but if they get taken into the later rounds, they tend to get tired. And it's almost like in dating in London, you might be able to sleep with the girl earlier, whereas here, you've really got to have the skill to go the distance. Regardless of what people say, the women here, they're not necessarily going to put out so easily all the time. You've got to develop that conversational arsenal to have extended dating sequences sometimes. But personally, I actually appreciate that because the connection that I've experienced with women when I've been here has been unlike anything I've had before. I've heard a couple of dating coaches say that Daygame doesn't work here, that Warsaw is saturated and things like that. The way I see it is this: if you're really into Caucasian chicks or Eastern European chicks, let's put it that way, then there's almost no better place in the world than Warsaw. It's got very, very high accessibility. It's very, very easy to get here. The education level is very, very high here. The standard of English is very, very high here. So if you think about all those factors, anywhere where there's loads of beautiful women, there's going to be competition. That's the way it works. And to be honest, there was one dating coach that came here that I heard about, and he was from London, and he went back because he felt that he didn't feel the girls had the same level of banter here as they do in London. That is one good thing about London. The girls have got banter. I feel like sometimes people give English girls a hard time, but the girls do know how to have a laugh, and that's true. And he said he preferred that, so fair enough, I give that to him. The other guy, he said that Daygame doesn't work anymore and it's been replaced by dating apps. Nonsense. There are a lot of guys from the 2010 era of Daygame. In my opinion, in 2010, Daygame is super niche, and it was very rare for a girl to be approached on the street. So there was a brief period in time when you could literally spit out some lines to one girl that you'd said to 10 other girls that day, and they all would have heard it for the first time, and it would have been novel. That time is gone, and I say that is a good thing that time is gone, because that's essentially exploiting a gap in the system. In order to be attractive to women these days, you have to be a well-rounded man. And the way I see it, a lot of the guys from that early kind of 2010 Daygame era, if you look at the way they dressed, etc., they weren't in good shape. They weren't well dressed. They just mastered this skill of running up to girls on the street, and they might have had success then for a brief period of time, but now it's a different game. And anyone that says Daygame doesn't work here, I've had better results here, probably because I've been more attracted to the girls than I ever had in London, from cold approach, from Daygame. I even had a spell with dating apps as well. The level of competition may be high here, but the level of competition is high anywhere in the world where there is an abundance of attractive women, where it is geographically easy to access the place. So come on, fellas. When people say things like, oh, Warsaw is burnt out, it's like, dude, forget the words cold approach, forget the words Daygame. Men are always going to be approaching women in real life. The guys that are the best at this, in my experience, don't even know what Daygame means. They just naturally approach women in their day-to-day life. You go to a nightclub. Historically, when I was in my teens, I would go to nightclubs, and there'd be like 3 guys for every girl. The competition was super high. Wherever there is an abundance of attractive women, there will always be competition. The people that cry and whinge about it are the people that are crying and whinging about it, that are embodying a victim mindset. And a victim mindset by itself is not attractive to women. If you hear people complaining about it, the very position they're complaining at it from is a sign that they aren't succeeding with women, because women are not wired to respond to that kind of energy. So you can have great results here. Women are very, very friendly, but it does require you do need to lead. You need to be on your purpose as a man. And we are living in 2026 where women are educated on dating. They know what's up in many cases. So Warsaw on review. It's a place that will challenge you. It's a place that's very, very modern, great food, great quality of food. I remember I went to Biedronka, which is the equivalent of a Tesco's Express, and I remember buying like a bread roll, and I was shocked how nice it was. The food just tastes better here. I remember last time I went back to London and I had a sandwich and I was like, bleh. Bread doesn't even taste that nice. There's more traditional dating culture, so in certain cases you'll definitely need to be more patient. So if you're interested in doing any coaching in this area, if you want to become a more shaggable version of yourself, want to become more attractive, better at texting, better across the board, you want a woman to like you, then I am available for dating coaching both over Zoom and in person. If you have any particular areas that you want to work on or you want to get better at this part of your life, you can shoot me an email at timothy@timothyrobinson.me. I think that's it. All right, I will see you on the next one.